Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you all so much for joining. I am joined today with Michelle Wolfe. How are you doing today, Michelle?
So much better.
That's awesome. We sure did
so
miss you last week.
Better. Yeah, what a couple of weeks it's been, guys. But yeah, finally coming out the side of it, and whew. Yeah, is about where I can start. So I'm so happy to be here, though, and it was just so nice to see your face today too. Even though we talk all the time, pretty much every day we're chatting something back and forth, but just to see your face again and be here with all of you guys again to share I'm really appreciative of it. So thank you to all of you.
Speaking of being appreciative, I am so appreciative of everyone who has contributed to my dream to go to Sedona, and lots of love and light to all of you guys, and just the love. My wife was like, wow, don't you feel so loved that so many people want to help out and stuff? I'm like, I do. I mean, even the people that can help out, I feel the love from everybody. So I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it really does touch me and humbles me, and so thank you. That's really all I can say about that. Because,
well, you know what? Even if someone doesn't have the money to contribute, their intentions for you alone is probably even more powerful than the money that they could contribute.
Totally.
So nobody, those that can give, because that's wonderful. But those that can't, don't think that you're not giving anything, because just by being, wow, yeah, I really want Shane. I can see Shane in Sedona. I really want him to experience that. They're putting coins in your piggy bank right there, right? Really.
Totally.
So.
And that reminds me, a week from today, I'm going to have on two sisters, Jamie and Leela. I believe I've got their names right. Sorry if I jacked them up. I don't have a script in front of me or anything ever, really. But they're going to be we're going to be giving away a free quantum healing session during their show next week. So for speaking of those who don't have money, maybe tune in, and we'll figure out how we're going to raffle that off through maybe an email or through a phone call or through an instant message through Facebook. I don't really know how we're going to do it just yet. But
you'll find a way.
We'll figure out a way, and then we will give away one free session. So if you've been wanting a session, but it's just outside of your budget, and I even meant to mention yesterday with Allison Coe that if you're wanting to take the BQH course, I did include the link in the description of that yesterday, because you can save 10% on taking the course. It's much cheaper than some of the alternatives out there. And I did include the link below, as well as, because I forgot to mention it yesterday, the link is below here, and the code UOTF 10 for 10% off at checkout or whatever. So just wanted to mention that, because I like to sponsor and support things, but my memory is so bad, unscripted, that I'm like, I forgot to mention that. I always forget something. So
that's okay.
I always check.
I'll always forget something, but you'll remember something too. So
yeah,
balance.
Definitely. Exactly.
So yeah, you know what? And I'm really grateful for the show that you did with Allison yesterday too. And it was that really, it was synchronistic, definitely perfect timing, and reminded me to go back and listen to my recorded sessions again. And I really received that healing again. It's like that healing is there for you to go back to. And yeah, I forgot that, and it was great to be reminded, because it worked. Put it on last night, and it just feel a lot better. So it was a great tool. It's not just the one time. You could just re-listening to it takes you back there.
I wanted to share that story. I just share it with you because I got an email with somebody yesterday when I was talking to Allison. We were talking about Brian Weiss and his book. And I brought up the story in the book about his father passing away and the information he got through like a hypnosis session or whatever. Someone sends this email and they were like, I was just in the bookstore, saw that book, opened the book up and read a little story. And it was the part that you mentioned in the show. I mean, what are the chances? That's like astronomical. That's like a synchronicity of the week for sure for me.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's only the week, not the month.
Right. Because they happen all the time. They're incredible.
These things would be like, why, like once in a, lifetime. How does that ever happen? No, now it's like every day.
Oh, your mom says hi. Hey,
oh, hi, mommy. We gotta talk soon. I'll try to get Archer in here for you at some point. So he'll make an appearance for mom. so hang around, mom.
So it's Archer's the laid back one, right?
Yeah, little dude. He just can't talk proper, so he says "ganana." He doesn't know the difference between grandma and nana, so he says "ganana." Yes, I'm crazy about my dogs.
Oh, we have lots of animal lovers, cats and dogs.
And they talk. Sorry. I hear them just fine.
Hey, Lori. So it's wonderful. We got 96 people in here.
Hi, guys. I want to thank everybody that sent loving prayers. Jose did a healing bubble for me. You know what? And I really felt that love. I really did from all of you. I got, a lot of those messages, and thank you all that sent.
Michelle's opinions.
Everybody.
We're all a big community here, and we take care of each other. So.
Yeah, well, it really helped. Like you said, you feeling that love, like, wow, when your wife said, oh, you must really feel loved. It's like, it's good. It's a good thing to see.
It's a beautiful community we have here. Yeah, and shout out to Scott, Light Warrior Craig. I know he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. He's not always in the...
He does for me, that's for sure.
Right.
He's my rock. That's my nutter butter. So, yeah, he's a big rock for me. And I don't know what I would do without him. But he knows that. He knows I love him.
Lisa says she hears her pets talk too.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Twin Flame Divine Fire. How are you guys?
Hi, guys. Hi, love you both. Just watched Sri and Kira's September video, and it was beautiful. Really great. Anybody, all their message. They'll put out a video at the beginning of each month. They don't put out a lot of videos, but there's one for August, there's one for July. I encourage you to go back. These should be 20 minutes long, and they're so dead on, and they're so loving, and they're so great about how they put information out. So I encourage you to go check it out. September's Ascension forecast for Sri and Kira.
Yeah, and definitely Twin Flame Divine Fire Radio live on Sunday afternoons. So, yeah, it's so much to keep up with, and I try to, but with being a content creator too, I get behind, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can never catch up.
Tell me you don't have two different things going on at once. And
all the time.
Something on to double the speed playback.
Yeah, double speed. Then sometimes my phone, and then I'm
research.
kind of listening to two things at once. I'm like, what am I trying to do here? I'm just missing it all.
And then I found Evernote, so you can when you find a clip, you can just boom, boom, and create the file. So I'm like, grab it. Yeah. But
so many wonderful people, and it's hard to keep up, but I do my best. I try to diversify my attention, and a lot of times it's recommended videos that catch my attention. So
in the rabbit holes you start to chase, like in the different things, and it'll lead you to another thing, and it's just always growing. It just doesn't stop growing. It's like you're not just awake once. It's like we get awoken in bigger and bigger and bigger levels. I feel like, oh, you thought you were awake? No. You weren't awake yet. No. Oh, you think you're awake now? No.
Right.
I'm not awake now. No.
It's like that for me. It's like, I think I'm awake and ready for the next stage. And I was like, man, I wasn't ready then. I feel ready now, but I'm probably not ready now either. So I'm just enjoying the ride at this point.
But it's still divine. It's still divine.
Oh, hey,
even when it doesn't feel so divine.
Totally.
So, yeah.
So how much of your journey do you want to share?
Oh, well, this is where it's like where do I start? What do you guys really what's the
You've really
best
gone through
thing
some
and
tough stuff and I've been
Mhm.
sending you lots of love and light, but there's
Well, I guess I should share kind of, what happened physically in case anybody else was experiencing some of those same symptoms. And what I did realize, actually, I think it was, again, my memory of my time. I lost my time a while ago.
I understand
And
that.
yeah, Luna just put one out recently, and there was a couple, and it was really great because she was explaining that these energies, that there could be pain involved in pain and feeling. Because okay, so what I found happened, and it started about the 22nd. Let me look at my calendar. Just because really, like with the energy waves, that you can see them coming in the space weather news. You can see how we experience them, and it is escalating. And we've been told by some really great channelers and spiritual teachers like Shrinkira, like Aluna, like Divine Fire, and these great people, what is going on. So with everything really picking up in intensity and frequency, it's really good to sort of start to pinpoint where these kind of reactions are, and to give, I think it gave me the hope to pull my mind out of a 3D disease diagnosis for myself, or an ascension symptom diagnosis for myself. And it was realizing that there was a difference, and maybe I do have a choice. Maybe I do have a choice between the two. And I think there's a big crutch of what I went to from getting, not well, going through so much pain, and through my body, and not knowing what was going on. In researching, I found that results that gave symptoms of autoimmune disorder. So, most likely being rheumatoid arthritis or lupus, something like that. But it definitely was more to me the rheumatoid arthritis, because of the pain and difficulty I have with my right hand. But this is the thing that's been going back and forth for a few years now with medical. But what is really happening? And is it really the medical diagnosis? I think it was Jose that even said to me, you know what, I bet the blood results come back. And sure enough, well, the doctor just did call. He's actually calling me back today at 6:30 to give me the blood results. Still between 6:30 and 7. So I'm getting those back. So mommy, I'll talk to you after that. But I realized that with Aluna saying as well, like to feel that pain, you could really be experiencing this pain, and that our bodies are literally shifting. And then I'm seeing this, like the space weather, what's going on there with the actual pressure that's being experienced, and these flu-like symptoms and the absolute fatigue. So what basically it felt to me, it was like every joint, everything hurt in my body. Every joint, I didn't want to be touched. I didn't want to move. And it really hit me hard. At first I thought I strained my muscle, but then I strained another muscle, and then my wrist hurts. And then it just got worse and worse and worse till I couldn't sleep. I didn't know what to do. The pain was like stabbing pain at times, burning pain. And so I was, into the doctor's office after that night. So that would have been, I'm gonna have a look. Right, the 20, yeah, because it was like the 22nd that it started coming. It's always the 22nd too. And I know several people said that, and it's come up for me always the 22nd in the month. And I think the symptoms really started to, where I was like, oh, like what's going on? And then it progressed. So that was the Wednesday, the 22nd. The Thursday, the 23rd, overnight is when it got so bad that by Friday morning, the 24th, I was in the doctor's office in tears. And it really, yeah. And I couldn't move for a few days. So I was definitely in a lot of pain for a few days there. from the Friday and over the course of the weekend. And I think it was about to the 29th, the week later, right? From the 22nd to the 29th, that would be the Wednesday after, is when the pressure and the pain started to lift. But then what I've dealt with since then has been the emotional stuff left behind, right? Now, once the pain's lifted, what's really going on? And I'm always looking at what is really going on, when we have situations like this. But it really took me out of everything for a while and slammed me into a 3D physical fear reality. But I did stop, and I made sure that I was looking at what it was giving me. And what it did do was completely put me in the now. Because anything I did, I was focused on exactly what I was doing. Because any sudden movements, anything like that, was pain. So whatever I was doing, whether it was walking or I was focused on that. And before having this happen on the 22nd, the first half of August, I was like going like mad scientist, right? I was getting that creative manic side of me, which is, it's just part of the passion of me. But when the real creative starts to flow, and it's like, wow, and then it's like my body just went, nope, time out. Right? And gave me no choice. And that's when I think I heard Aluna say too, you won't have a choice. And we know that. And I was reminded of that again. Sometimes you'll get hit. It'll take you down. You won't have a choice. It's going to do what it's going to do.
But don't you feel like it's a catalyst for something bigger and more important to sort of keep you in line, even though it's painful and
so many things,
rough,
so many things. But it was purging. It was another purge after the pain, dismay. I was left with these feelings from what had happened, and I had to assess what those feelings were. There was anger, there was resentment, there was fear, there was sadness. There was a lot of different things, and I had to stop and go through all of those again. And recognize that the perspective is mine, and recognize that I do have a choice, and keep going back and going through these things.
T. Taylor is saying that she dealt with lupus and that it's totally gone because she focused on, her intentions on changing it into, like what you were saying in the beginning,
That's
like ascension symptoms. And that gets me back to
It almost tricked me for a minute. It almost tricked me. Yeah. I got on WebMD and I started reading.
Scaring yourself on WebMD, right?
And listen, it very well, like in the doctor's perspective, I know he could who knows what he's going to tell me, but I still know now that that's not the end result.
Yeah.
Like I went through a lot because the emotional, because I'm an artist, and the use of my hand, because when this started happening, I couldn't pick up a pencil. I couldn't hold anything in my hand. That was one of the first things to go. Okay, so always for me, I have to say, like, one of my two bigger fears is, like, if you were to lose senses, what senses would be difficult for you to lose, or how would you manage to live without them, right? Blindness is one for me because color and visualization is just so much of me. And so not being able to, obviously that would be scary. But the other thing I considered work was not having the use of my hand to create. But then there I was exploring other ways in the beginning of August to create. I was finding as well new ways. Oh my gosh, I never knew I could create this way. So that was part of that excitement as well. So here I was, before that happened, finding other ways that I could create, that I didn't have to use this. But yeah.
Yeah, it can be difficult. Yeah.
So so I went through that as well. And the other thing, I had a great chat. I know I'm talking a lot, and I'm sorry, but it's just so much I do want to share with you guys about this. and share
I
honestly.
don't have anything to say. I'm just
okay. Yeah. And I'm trying, if I stop sometimes, it's because I'm really trying not to get emotional. So, okay, where was I?
I'll chime in with a joke if I see it
Yeah.
getting too heavy for you.
Well, we were just at it, and you said,
You were talking about losing the use of your hands and getting through just the difficulty of that. I think you were moving on to something
yeah,
else.
then Scott, and then you said Scott was talking about something. And I was like, yeah, and then squirrel. I have a squirrel emoji I send to Shane.
But yeah, that took me back to my mom when she had her stroke, and she was a singer, and it really messed up her speech, and she had a really difficult time dealing with the loss of, because she thought she goes, I sound like I'm from Sweden. She sounded like she had an accent to herself, after dealing with that. But I know how emotional that can be because, when you're a singer or an artist and then you lose the use of your hands or your voice or whatever it is, or it just becomes more difficult. It is challenging.
It's losing part of you and what it feels like. But we have to, that's the thing. We have to surrender I have to surrender to everything. And this is one thing that's really come up realizing as well over the last couple of weeks. You have to surrender. There's no choice.
And realize we're more than our bodies too. So
and to understand this is a real spirit, this is a spiritual thing. Oh, yeah. We have to surrender to the fact that this is a spiritual thing. It's not a physical thing. Mm-hmm. So that's part of it. What you're talking about was, so I said after the pain receded that I was left with emotions, right? I was left with, anger and resentment and fear and had to look at and analyze that. And so something that came up that I realized, and I did a lot of crying over, was that I had it. So I have experienced the energy four times in dream of this wave. And the first time was last, June. That's the first video I put out, and I talk about receiving that energy. We've talked about basically the angel gave me what they said, a new technology that will allow me to manifest instantly, and then boom, and was experiences that this energy, this wave energy that's coming in, and what we're being sort of trained to be able to take in and understand why. But the experience of it and is so amazing. It gave me hope. Like when having, so I had the experience, the year before, and then happening in March. That's why I know the wave did start in March. I know it came in again in March because I experienced it. And then I think it happened, the last time it happened was in May. And that's when we talked about that I had it in astral lucid dream, and I went up into the ship and went through that fear test and everything. And I had to, break out of it. And that was the last time I experienced it. So I was building up real sadness and sense of loss and fear, because it seemed to be picking up in frequency for a while. It seemed to be coming in more often to me in dreams and be practicing it. And then to have experienced that kind of love and bliss, that's my ultimate goal. That's my goal every day. What's your intention? I don't care about the $1 million. I don't care about any of that. I don't care. That is my goal, is that energy and being that and knowing that that is my existence all the time, that is my experience all the time, that is who I am. That is my goal. When I felt so taken away with pain, that you're not experiencing any, pleasure was taken away from me that I could find. My optimism was taken away. My hope was taken away, right? These things were different things that I'm usually really good at, which is optimism and hope. And those things were kind of taken away. And I realized that there was this part of me
Yeah, the optimism and the hope part is.
I was so sad. I was so angry.
Yeah.
That I still had to be waiting for this. Why do I have to keep doing it? If I have to be here, and if I have to do this, and if I have to do this mission, and I have to do this work, and I have to do this job, then why do I have to do it without that?
Right.
Yeah. So thanks, guys.
And it's difficult because, once you let yourself kind of get pulled away from that optimism into pessimism, it's hard to bring yourself back out of that. It's like you have to catch yourself before you fall in deep. But what do you do when you get that bad?
It tricked me. Tricked me. I realized I did come back, and I realized after releasing those things and letting those things go, and that was like a lot of crying. Like things would just hit me, and I was flushing it out. So there was definitely a lot of purging of this and releasing of it, allowing me to understand it and to love it and to heal it and allow myself to be loved. And allow that connection to come back in that I thought I lost, that I didn't lose, that was there all the time, and that's the beautiful thing, and that's where it's really come back around, like in circle for me, and going through those different emotions and purging those things, and after clearing and realize, keep your eyes on the divine at all times. Keep your eyes on the divine at all times. And I've been reminded, and so I want to remind you all actually, because I've been reminded over the last couple of days that we have access to new abilities now, and we may not realize it. And I see that because I was so distracted that we can actually start practicing with now. I've been reminded about the telepathy the last couple of weeks. We were talking about that. That's coming up. Now I've been getting in the messages about the telekinesis, and that people should actually just start playing with things, right? And that and then Scott was telling me, again, it's so synchronistic. We had this great conversation this morning about the ears, and I hear the pressure in the ears and focusing on. An analogy. It was like Kegel exercises for your eardrums. Very strange sounding, but it makes perfect sense to me with all the tones I hear. And I got it. I'm understanding. So I'm supposed to listen and tune into that higher frequency, pull it in, be tuned into it, and then I'm in the vibration. And when I was doing it with it, all of a sudden my vision started changing. Right. And because I have the two windows and I can see outside and I can see the greenery, and all of a sudden things are getting brighter. So I'm really reminded the last couple of days after going through all of that, it was there all the time. And I just got distracted, by other things too. And not just, the creative stuff or anything. We really have to focus on the practice. We have to, I was letting some diet go. I was letting, but no, you can't do it. Can't mess around anymore. And it's also the imagination warrior. It's made me look and address with re-putting that term up and understanding what it is, and me understanding, again, I tried to suck you out of being a warrior, and it's made me understand that again, and what I am here to be a warrior for. And so now it's time, and I think if you go and watch Sri and Kira's video, that's what they say, it's time for that authenticity, that warrior energy to come out. And somebody said in the chat about me, well, I think it was a sarcastic comment about me being humble, and I said, well, you know what, as humble as a lion, I'll be as humble as a lion.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah,
and your Kegel ear exercises reminds me of what I'd been doing during meditation, and that's like, how when you're looking out of your eyes, you can shift your focus from one eye to the other one.
Yeah, I can do some.
What I've been doing is I've been practicing the left eye, the right eye, the left eye, the right eye, and then moving it to the third eye and trying to imagine I've taken my attention off my two eyes and moved it up into where my third eye would be located.
Yeah, so you know what? This is when I started doing this in the spring, when I had the metaphor analogy, which Renee Garcia helped me with, which is the tuning fork analogy, the cross and the roads going this way or that way, or flip it around, and it's a tuning fork, and then the tuning fork goes in handle out here. So I've actually, like so you're taking that visual energy here, and you're moving it around, and you're feeling, and you're moving to your third eye. So I found taking that perspective and then going boom, visualize yourself pulling actually in from those points back here, and it's like a downing rod, right? Try give that a try, because I found that takes me like boom, back into, like we said, those hills, that other hill higher perspective. So
I like that. Yeah, it's just moving the focus, and it gets right back to what you were just saying about the imagination warrior thing. We have so much power in our mind that we need to start interacting with more, playing with it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why I want to bring this idea out, that the imagination, that our imagination isn't like, it's not just this, like, it's creation itself. The power of our mind is what we need to understand, and the power of our imagination, and harnessing that as a spiritual warrior. Now, this is my understanding now, as a spiritual warrior, because this is actually, and this is something I've had to understand more now as well. I didn't go to church, like, we've had that very different background, right? And it didn't find Jesus really till I had that spiritual healing. But I am now becoming more and more awake to, yes, this actually really is a spiritual war here. And we will see that. And we are here to be warriors. But we are warriors in our own way. And our powers that we have, it's time to stop playing by their rules now. The way they do things, we don't need to do things their way anymore. We don't need to tell the same lies to trick them. We don't need to use the same methods that they use anymore. I hope we
like
see
fear tactics and stuff like that. Yeah,
all of it, the battle, like with the white hats and the black hats. And I'm realizing, listen, they're using the same tactics against each other. It's time for us. The Q focus is great. This is one sphere of the political awakening, and it's an awakening to the fact that this is a spiritual battle. It is a spiritual battle between Satanists and Christ consciousness, and it is going on, and it is real. But it's time for us to stop. We're not using their tricks anymore, and that's why it's time for us to start practicing. It sounds crazy, I know, but for me, from my background, from where I came from, to get to this point now, and to understand how important this is. This level of being awake. And listen, there's no fear in it being a spiritual war either, because we are here to, it's already done. It's already done. We're just here to enjoy the victory of it. So
step into our roles, so to speak.
Yes, with our tools now. So we are now the enlightened ones. We are now the illuminated ones, not them. And understanding that in the changing of vibration and taking control of riding that lion, right? Which is your imagination, and you taking control of that. This is like, we have all the power, and I think we'll be amazed at what we can do. And it's time to start doing it. Stop playing by their rules. Stop playing their illusions. Stop watching their movies. Stop listening to their music. Stop buying their garbage. And stop, monetizing things. Take money out of your mind of how you're going to get things. Start trying to practice doing that, because that's one thing they've convinced us, tricked us to think that we need money to get things, but then they hold all the money, so we need them because we need the money. But they'll never let you get up to a certain income. They'll get triggered if you get up to a certain amount of money. Boom, 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 bell rings, and in they come, and they'll make sure. So, and there's a lot of information about that now. So we need to be aware and start to understand the powers we have in making choices.
Yeah, and that sort of gets back into, I think it was Alexis I was talking to, where we were talking about, just sort of having our own community where everyone's doing what they're doing, whether they're selling supplemental products or whatever. And as we transition into a money-free society, we can just start by just working with our own people, so to speak. Instead of giving the money to the big corporate businesses, we start going to each other, and then we transition out of this whole thing, because it's all going to fall away, in my opinion. You know.
Oh, it is. It absolutely. It has to. This is the monetary system. It's pivotal. That will be when that is taken away. That is their demise.
Because that's a prison within itself.
It is.
That's the whole slave thing. You got to work, and you don't have enough leisure time to look into truth stuff, to work on your spirituality. It's a grind that they want to keep you in, because if
keep
they
you
keep
distracted
you at the grind,
with entertainment.
Oh yeah, or the new iPhone. You're like, I gotta have that. I have to work some overtime to get that.
I saw the great, just like half an hour before we started talking. Satan doesn't show up in horns and a beast. Right. He shows up with what you want.
Yeah.
He shows up with what you want, like what you want. I'm understanding that as the Hollywood system, as the music system, and the everything, and what they're doing there. This is what you want, right? It's all a distraction. It's all a distraction. And
somebody's saying money is worth nothing, and that's funny that people kill over pieces of paper with presidents' pictures on it. You know how ridiculous that is when you really think of it. Like, if you sort of came in as an outside race, and you're like, why are they killing over this thing full of paper?
And that's why some people will do anything for money, including worship Satan. And it's God's honest truth. And so it's, you know what, it's great. It's a great time. And that, you're right, the money's going to fall away, and that is a big part of the power. But even on, use your own imagination. It's not even just the physical transactions between us. So this is where I come back to the being imagination warrior. It's changing your own mind. Take the but out of there that is attached to the money is the answer. But keep taking it out. I know we still have to do this, but it's kind of like they say, you just keep your eye on the divine at all times.
You're saying to just take it out as
your own vocabulary.
It's no longer a limit. It's like, stop thinking that you're held back by that. Like,
yes,
I totally agree with that, and that's sort of where I had to look at with this whole living your purpose thing. Once you start living your purpose and really following your heart, you can sort of trust the fact that everything is going to be taken care of for you, and that's where I've been operating for over a year, and it's been a wonderful place. Not everybody in the family is always on board with that, but after a while of it happening over and over again and things working out and stuff, you can't help but start to have it build up your faith as well.
But now we're understanding this is not like, kind of wishy-washy. And the synchronicities are letting us know every single day. It's not wishy-washy anymore.
Right.
So that this tool of taking money out of the equation, this is one of the other things we should be practicing with right now, like practicing the telepathy. Yes, maybe practicing hearing the vibrations, feeling the vibrations, all of those things. But start practicing with your imagination tool too, and visualize and the money's not in the visualization, like it completely gone. Just focus, whatever it is, whatever creative, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter if it's not reality yet. It doesn't matter, because if it's reality in here, it will be reality out there. And so if you can just put 5-minute practice a day, if you're practicing any of these spiritual things, any of these new things that we are able to do, and we're seeing the results of with people, like glowing, right? So, they're all there for us to experience. So we do have the power now. And even by just, get rid of the money, take the visualization of the money passing hands out. Just put the hands connecting the hands. Take the money out of the equation. Take the picture of out. Take the butt out of there. Throw it in the garbage. Throw it in their faces. I don't need, and it will, like that. We have that power now.
Yeah, we limit ourselves by our beliefs, really. And it's like getting out of that limiting mindset because a lot of times you can completely remove money out of the equation anyway. Say you have a book idea, you might get a publisher that just says, look, I just feel like I should publish this. There's not even any money exchange hands. It's totally an unnecessary part of the equation, But we, in our mindset, a lot of times we're like, how can I do this because of the money or because of this or that?
Yeah.
And if we just do what we can do and trust the rest is going to fall into place.
Just focus on how you want to feel. That's it. Okay. So it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what bill is paid, what car is repaired, what job you have. None of it matters if you are not happy. And if we are not experiencing what we are striving for, our divine sovereign right of joy, bliss, abundance, and love. That is my choice of experience, because none of the other stuff is worth anything if you don't have that. You can have all the houses, all the bills paid. You can have all the healthy children. You can have all of those things and nobody. But if you don't feel that, it's not worth anything. And that is what we have to keep bringing into the reality of focusing. Pull that into that joy, bliss, abundance, love. Feel the abundance. Feel the ease of it. And there's no water. There's no, sorry, this water is abundance. There's no money. There's no money floating around in abundance for me. It's water, right? And it's everywhere. So, yeah, because none of it matters in the end, unless you have that right here.
Once you kind of can expand beyond that limiting mindset, you can begin to trust better. I mean, or faith.
It's hard.
People like the word faith, but I like the word trust because it seems so much more connected, like you don't even have to worry about it. Faith seems like you're having to kind of talk yourself into believing it. Trust seems like, more like you're just, it's handled, it's more of a knowing,
Mm-hmm. I just thought there was a comment I got that was I was tempted to reply to, and not in a mean kind of way, but just because I saw the perspective of somebody. So it was, the Q video's done really great. Like I'm over 20,000 views on it, but I got this comment from this one lady, and what she was angry and upset about was that I was giving, and get this, hope porn. Have you heard that term? Now think about this.
Yeah.
But this is the trick of what they do. Take a divine word, which is hope, right? Which should be our divine experience. Like that is where we should be, and take the complete opposite of it and attach porn to it. Attach the word porn to the word hope. But this is if you can start to see that, you will start to see how that's presented to us all around. Is the abomination that everything that is divine will be flipped around, and so
because that takes the whole placebo effect out of the equation. It's like let's ignore the fact that people with hope have things can work out for people just from believing, you know what I mean? So
she was so concerned. She was concerned that I was hurting those people that were going to be disappointed by this not being true. And I was afraid. So that was how could you say these things and these people will end up having their hearts broken, and that's my fault. and stop spreading hope porn. But it was a fascinating way to see how they've manipulated that perspective, that the fear of feeling the pain of disappointment is worth giving up divine hope.
Right.
And yeah, I was like, wow, it was those two words and just such a combination that really showed that perspective that she couldn't see past. So, and it's amazing how prevalent it is. The fear, we all have it. I have, that fear even to release surrender to that. It is a spiritual experience. It is a spiritual experience and surrender to it, and it requires hope and belief and trust and faith, right? Not
there's that spinning of it. It's like you're just trying to turn this into entertainment to pump yourself up, and it's not based on anything, and it's it's just twisting it all into something It's not like you're just,
Hope is
I
eternal.
totally see what you're saying.
Hope
Right.
is eternal. It's not porn.
Right.
Sorry to tell you.
Right.
I had a really witty remark all set out for it. I try if I'm going to reply to anything, I really try to do it with some lightness, some forgiving, a sense of humor, and keep it light, right? And just kind of, show that sort of perspective a little bit, it doesn't matter if they get it or not, but maybe somebody else will see it and get the giggle and see the perspective difference. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't want to joke at anybody's expense. I try not to do that. I try to be but it's practice.
That's why I try to deal with it within the realm of possibilities and probabilities, but still, even being that way about it, with people saying it looks like it's a pretty good possibility, they're still like, why are you putting energy into this?
Yeah, I'm back to that little kid again.
Right. Oh yeah.
Who was there every other weekend waiting for their grandparents to show up, or maybe it was their daddy to show up. Right. Listen, we had that put in disappointed. And when you think you're going to do something, and no, and of course, if we've had those examples in our childhood, continually about being let down. Of course, everything's going to let you down. That's just the way life is. That's just the way it is. Get over it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
But, yeah, so that's what we have. We have to get over that idea, not get over having hope.
And it's so funny that you said that, because it takes me back to this thought of, why are you hoping? Why not just resonate in pessimism all the time? This is like almost like the glass is half full, just stay there. Is that what they're saying? Be a downer. Misery loves company. Come on and join us here, But yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. Misery does love company. Yeah,
that's sort of the thing. It's like, even if this doesn't work out, I know something will. So it's not for me. It's not hope porn. Like it's like it's like, okay, so it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out, but I know it's going to work out. It always does.
And it ain't leaning board. But I never thought, like, I've heard that term before. I've heard it before that, and I never thought of it that way. Yeah. And it was a revelation for me, seeing this term that I've seen before, and seeing it in a different light. And it's like, wow, man, they really messed us up.
Right. And it's really slowly moving that way. It went to fear porn, which was, it kind of makes sense or whatever. But they're like, hey, let's take this a step further and really make it real.
Let's really dirty it up, Yeah, and that's how you'll notice too. You'll see the signs of it. They don't just want to make it negative. No, they want to defile it. Like they want to dirty it up, right? And bad. But you know what? We don't need to get into all that. It's just starting to realize and see things this is part of seeing things for what they are, part of maintaining our inner light, vibration, and strength through it. And what came to me, guys? I got to share this with you. Back in the beginning, we did a great meditation together where I brought, everybody, we came in from all over to the world to the beach, and we all met each other at the beach, and so happy to see each other and hugging each other. And then we all held hands and we started to walk into the water.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. And I remember, as the water got deeper, I said back then, like, know that some of us will be like, when those waves get bigger, we will be like, it'll take us back, but it'll be us holding hands.
And it can't take us all down together. So it's supporting the parts of the links that are getting pushed harder at that time, or getting supported by the other parts that are more
and
stable.
That's what I felt by Jose's meditation, by all the love I got. Each time I felt you guys reaching out your hands.
It really is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you came on.
Yeah, I know we're getting there. I know we're getting there now. We're getting through that water together, because it is a lot. So, and I'm there to hold everybody's hand too.
Okay, I got to pull you. Strong. I got to pull you back, because I think you were going in the direction of the dreams, and we got off track.
This is a great way to end it.
Huh? Did you have more for the dreams?
The dream I had is I was so grateful for this dream to share. Okay. Because it really kind of wraps things up in a bow for me and kind of reclaiming my warriorness. My warriorness. And okay, so
this was last night?
Yeah, last night. It was really like earlier this morning because it really stuck with me, and I woke up. It was very lucid. And it did wake me up. So nice. It was very clear. So it was a big one. It was a good one. And okay, so I was with different people. Some people I didn't know. I was going to I went to a mall. I went to this. I don't know. We were doing different things. We're going to different restaurants, and we were always kept moving and shifting around, and everything was crowded. And I was losing people that I knew in the crowd. And finally, I went and found a place to sit down. Yeah, it's like we're going to get something to eat, but just kept like there was nowhere to sit down, nowhere to go, and we kept having to move around. Finally, we ended up like on a picnic table all together, sitting down. We all eat. And it's so strange. And apparently, like, while we were sitting there, I had boots on. Well, I used to have, like, these boots when I worked, and, like, dress boots, whatever. I had these boots on. And then when we're done eating, and everybody's getting up to leave, I look, and I have bare feet. I don't have any boots on. And I'm like, what? Where are my boots? Right? I'm like, what happened to my boots? And there's one of this guy that's there, and he's like, it's okay, I'll help you find your boots. And so, okay, we go in, we find boots, and I put these boots on. I'm like, wait, those aren't my boots. Like, whose boots are these? These aren't my boots, right? And he's like, well, I don't know, they must be your boots, right? And then all of a sudden I go, wait, stop, I'm dreaming. And I look at him and I go, no, these aren't my boots because I'm dreaming and you're not real. And he got so mad. He got so angry. And I'm like, no, you're like, no, this is a dream. I know I'm dreaming. And I'm like, this, but he got so angry, and he actually came at me to attack me. He took the boot. He wanted to he hit me once on the leg with the boot. And everything that I've gone through this week, I remembered everything. I remembered everything in that moment of remembering who I am and remembering what powers I have and that I'm a warrior. In that moment, I remembered it all. And he hit me that, and I just went, and it wasn't in rage. It was I knew he was an illusion. There was nothing that I was hurting, but I decimated that illusion. I literally just went and glory in recognizing this process, recognizing the reclamation of it, recognizing the moment to pull it in, and recognizing my own strength, and the doubt didn't come in to take it away. So I didn't falter. When I grabbed him, I didn't falter. I just got, and he literally just dissolved like in my hands. And then actually it was like, came back like a second time for some reason. And yeah, it was just, and I was just like, whoa, like I was medieval, man. And I was like, I just grabbed him, and I'm like, because I am and he just gone. Oh, and it wasn't rage. It was the power of the majesty of the divinity of the divine strength of God that we carry within us, that what we have in us to decimate this illusion.
Oh yeah, I like that. It's like, this is my illusion, and you're out of here, buddy.
You're out of here. Oh no, you didn't. Oh no, you didn't just hit me with a boot. And yeah, but it wasn't anger to it. I was like, wow, this is my moment, and I just let it go. And I think I in that moment quadrupled my size.
Right.
And I morphed into more of who I really am in that moment. And it was like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what it left me with. And that's what I woke up with this morning. And that's what I was like, wow, doesn't
That's
that,
a
it just
perfect
wraps it
segue
in a
into
bow.
your mom. Your mom's wanting you to open the curtain and really show your glow.
I know, because I had to put the curtain here. You guys would never see me.
That's why I said, I'm like, are you sure?
I hopefully got my glow back. I got my glow on. My glow on. Yeah, it was there all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna be on with Enlightened Self tomorrow, doing a dream chat on my channel for Dream Thursdays. So checked in. I'm not sure the time yet, but I'll be doing that. Maybe I'll put an announcement out on my channel tonight. I really needed Shane's help to come back and just kind of get this all out with you guys. With so many subscribers, the count going up, and I know a lot of it's Q stuff, and everything being so, it was like we were talking about it last night, the exposing it's really sensitive stuff. It's really putting myself out there, and obviously you guys saw that, right? So it was a little too scary for me to just do that on my own, even on my own channel. And so I'm just grateful for that. And Shane's gonna come join me too soon. We'll figure that out in the next couple of weeks or whatever, and do a little segment with me. So this is really a big help for me now. The edited videos are great. I'm going to keep doing them. But what my intention was in the beginning as well is to actually be here and share this experience, difficulties and all, progress, defeat, like all of it, as hard as it is at times, with all of you that could be experiencing these different things at different points as well, and to let you know that it is real, and I got your hand.
Yes, it is. And I like April's comment. Hello, love, vibe, tribe. I like that name.
Yeah.
So definitely want to, if you're not subscribed to Michelle already, go
Please
subscribe.
do.
Her link is down below. And
I'm really excited.
They got this new thing where you can send out posts, so you can let people know that, you're going to be doing a show or whatever. It's just like a little message you can send out. That's pretty cool.
We'll talk about that after you let me know, because then I'll be able to do that, and that way I can definitively give a little bit more prep time, because I want to do more lives again. I want to get back to that and get back to chatting one-on-one, even when things are hard.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because they are hard for all of us at times. Really, so it's just that we just got to hold hands when they're difficult, and we'll get there, because we're almost there. We are almost there. I know it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, it's always, sometimes always darkest right before the dawn, right? So
totally.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. You're dinging.
I am. I'm sorry.
No, that was a confirmation of what you said. No, it was like you said something. Alexis was talking about that when she goes, I've been saying things, and then I'll hear the ding right after, like, ching, you got the right answer. You know what I mean? God. And that was totally like, it sounded like that. You said,
I don't need to do my own sound effects all the time anymore. Which leads me to the other show idea that I'm going to be doing on Sundays. I'm going to do a Sunday night live. And, those who have actually gotten a chance to spend some time with me, I'm pretty goofy. Like, I'm pretty silly. And a lot of this, I do voices, I sing, I do all kinds of crazy things. Scott will tell you how many times we've been on the phone and I'm like, hold on, I got to go get something. And I will unconsciously do Mission Impossible while I go get it. He's like, you're actually doing that? Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I just do that all the time. So I am going to share that side of myself on Sundays.
That sounds like I need to come on with you on a Sunday then.
Well, yeah, you ever heard Dr. Demento? I used to secretly listen to Dr. Demento in the 70s or early 80s when I was a kid, and it was a crazy Sunday nights. You probably wouldn't have been able to listen to this, no. And it was like 9. It was past my bedtime, and I was secretly listening. It was all really crazy stuff. Songs and
Wait, your mom's here. She don't want her to know, right?
Oh no, she probably knew the whole time.
These are secrets.
I was like one little earbud with the radio under my pillow, just to listen to Dr. Demento every week. So I want to really ode to Dr. Demento and remember that we got to be silly, we got to be goofy, and bring that out at the end of the week and do that and just have some silly time, laugh time. A couple hours, show some videos, have some and you're gonna see some goofy side of me because I gotta let it out. It's time to let the real me out.
I thought that would be fun to. I wanted to do that with Magenta, and like both of us, like I do my English accent and she does her American accent, and we both just swap and see how long we can survive, like pretending we're from each other's country. I thought that would be kind of cool. I don't know if she has an English or an American accent though.
Yeah, so. I know. See, Jess, my oldest, she's 26, and she sounds almost the same as me, the voice, right? But we have so many little stupid, little quirky things we walk around. My mom can probably tell you. She knows me and the girls are like always chirping off like little sayings and things, doing voices and all those things. So I said, Jess, I want to do this show. Like, I want you to come on. No, I don't want to. I'm like, what? Like, you don't even have to be on camera, Jess. You could just be like the peanut gallery off to the side. She's like, Mom, what the hell is the peanut gallery?
Oh my God, that's so funny that you just said that, because my kid just said that. I'm like, we don't need peanuts from the peanut gallery, and they're like, what the heck's a peanut gallery?
What is the peanut gallery, Mom? I should know, and I'm trying to explain it to her. She's looking at me like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So this is ode to Dr. Demento. So this is really for us old schoolers. I'm pulling out some Muppets, some Beaker. Some Beaker in the chef.
Is that where the peanut gallery from, that Dr. Demento show, or is it?
It could be.
Oh, okay. Because
peanut gallery was the cheap seats. It had something to do with peanuts, and it had something to do with hecklers from the cheap seats.
Right.
And it had something to do with they ate peanuts in the cheap. I know it had to do with that. It was like the hecklers or whatever. And because I know we go back and forth, it would just be hilarious. I'm going to get her on anyways. I don't care what she says. It's going to be on. So.
Just bring her in for a chat sometime and don't let her know you're live streaming.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to just secretly start like audio taping us and save it for my show and play it so you can hear how ridiculous it is.
Oh gosh, if you tuned into your station or your channel, she'll be horrified that you got.
Yeah, she'll get over it. Right. She's got tattoos head to toe. She can handle it.
After hundreds of videos, and I've never done it to my family, they're pretty relaxed around me now. So I think I'm ready to pull it off now.
Yeah.
Bring them in, start chatting with them, and not let them know I'm live streaming. And they won't even know because they don't even watch the channel half the time. So
yeah. Well, this really helped me today. Just, be able to, I can't believe I got all that out. I was like, how am I going to get all this out?
You did a great job. And I'm glad you
guys.
came on, and you seem like your spirits are really high. And I know you went through a rough time, and I'm glad
I really wanted to share it, though. Again. Yeah, it's important to share it because I know it'll mean something to somebody. And yeah, and it was a big process, and I'm back, and I'm so ready to roar.
And something we said before we went on the air that I don't think we actually got out in the air is that when you went through you had your session, and me and Allison talked about that yesterday, to go and re-listen to it because you'll get more out of it. That was the synchronistic thing that happened while you were listening to us. And
yeah, exactly. I did want to mention it, absolutely, because I was like, oh, duh.
Right.
And I did, and because I hadn't listened to you, I'm like, because there's so many, we have to remember those different healing things that we do have out there. It's hard when you really get pulled under like that, like really pulled under that undertow, and feel that, that panic. And I think we forget that we do have tools. We do have so it's definitely we need a process of bringing those things back in. And that I did it last night, and I think I've heard like the first few sentences, and then gone.
Well, I mean, you had pointed out something even more importantly is like your subconscious knows what you have coming up and stuff too. So it might just switching the perspective of that, you started going through something new that you didn't even know were coming, and then re-listening to it, you were hearing things that were in a new light now because of the perspective had changed for you with your
but to know too, like even if I did, it doesn't even matter if I fell asleep because it's still going in there. It's still like, that's why I really love about, the binaries or the meditations at night and the hypnosis. And I mentioned it again to Jess the other day, and I'm going to get back on that because that reprogramming, Aluna talks about that too. Can work wonders, really work wonders. And so I'm getting back on to making sure I'm going to do some more hypnosis sessions at night, or playing affirmations at night while sleeping to really just, take some of the burden off myself to, let my subconscious do some of the work here. Let them do some of the programming and take some of the burden off myself. Yeah.
Totally. Well, it's wonderful having you here, and we will see you back. We're going to be back on Tuesdays again next week. So
Yeah, back to
this was sort
back to
of
the
a-
norm. Yeah.
yeah. Back
So
to
maybe I'll see you Sunday if you're free. We'll see. If not, once you come on, join me and be kooky. You can do all the accents you want.
okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll travel around the world using accents. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
And then we have our viewers around the world. They could be like, "That sucked. You don't sound
so
like
bad.
us at all."
But it's going to be that bad that it's going to make you laugh, and that's the point. And laugh feels a lot, and yeah. So I'm
I have a feeling going to be like that. One word was pretty good, but the rest was horrible.
You just squint way off.
Right. I don't know, how often do you see actors that are like when I found out what's that one show, The Walking Dead, the main sheriff guy in it has a British accent.
Totally, I know, he's totally English.
I'm like, what the heck? And then Dr. House, totally British accent, and like so many people can pull it off and we just have no idea.
Well, I think it's the accents that we have ourselves we don't realize because we sound normal to us.
Right.
You can hear, and even watching different videos from different people all over the States and the different accents that you have all over your country is amazing too. It's they're very different. There's very unique traits.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Like New York, compared to say Georgia or here in Oklahoma, people are always like, "Where are you from? Where are you from, Sonny?"
I always do that with Dennis. What about the car?
Right.
Car?
You're from upper in Missouri, aren't you? Upper. Up there? Okay.
Austin.
Yeah. So it's fun though.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, cool.
Well, lots of love and light to everybody in the chat, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Love you guys.
Peace, everyone.
See you
soon. Bye-bye.
If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.